Progressive overload is probably one of the easiest ways to know if you're progressing in the gym. And no, it is not just adding more weight onto the bar. And so you might be wondering, what is progressive overload? And well, it's actually quite simple. Progressive overload is basically just gradually doing more and more over time. That could be weight or that could be reps. Your goal when you're doing progressive overload is to get more stimulus, and so your muscles adapt and you will get more strength and muscle. A simple way to explain it is picture yourself doing dumbbell curls. You'll be doing 2 sets of 4 to 6 reps. That'll be your rep range. Now your first session, you do 25 pounds for 5 reps. Your second session, you do 25 pounds for 6 reps. Your third, 25 for 7, and you go to 27.5 for 5 reps. So it's basically just gradually doing more reps or more weight over time. It's super simple. It's a super easy way to measure to make sure you're actually making progress in the gym. When you're doing it, you want to make sure that your form is very good, right? Because if you're one session doing, let's say, 25 pounds for 7 reps, and the next one you want to check again to see if you actually made progress, but you have to swing around, that's not progressive overload. You're just swinging around your weights like Ronnie Coleman. And so you want to make sure your form is good during the entire session and to actually gauge if you are progressive overloading or if you're not. And if you are, then continue adding more weight and more reps, because that's what allows for better stimulus and for your muscles to grow through adaptations. So you might be wondering, what do I do if I'm on a cut? Because typically when people are cutting, they actually lose strength because they're losing, sometimes they lose muscle on the cut. A good way to gauge if you're progressive overloading during your cut is if, let's say, like over here, you're doing 25 pounds for 5 reps, right? And this is at the peak of your bulk. And if you cut and you're doing around the same rep range or sets, then it's safe to say that you actually would probably have gained strength since it's relative to your body weight. So that's a good way to also progressive overload when you're on a cut. Now, one thing about the gym is you don't want to obsess over it, because there are going to be times where you might go a month without progressive overloading just because, your newbie gains are gone. You're a few years into the gym and you got to train extra hard to get that stimulus and to actually grow. Right? That's why it's good to try to always get your protein intake in, so you're always getting good protein synthesis and you're actually making good gains. So don't obsess over it. Some days we have bad workouts or bad sleep, and there's a lot of factors that could limit to why you're not progressive overloading. So the main takeaway from this is just track your workouts, train very hard, recover really good in the gym through eating and sleeping, and you will progress eventually. Just make sure your form is always good, make sure you're always recovering, and that you track every lift no matter what.